September 22nd, 2005. I'm Ted Koppel, and this is Nightline. The Eye, less than 350 miles from Galveston, Texas.
This is a big, dangerous storm. It's a massive storm.
Just hours before its outer wall makes landfall.
Definitely one of the roughest storms I've ever flown.
Lines start outside, okay?
And thousands are still struggling to get out.
An hour and a half to check bags at the curb, and another couple hours to go through security. A lot of people won't make their flights today.
Tonight, Hurricane Rita, state of emergency. Everyone has learned from Katrina. FEMA has 45 truckloads of water and ice and 25 truckloads of those military meals ready to eat, pre-staged at federal facilities in Texas. They've also pre-staged medical teams and urban search and rescue task forces. The governor of Texas has called more than 1,300 Texas National Guardsmen back from relief operations in Louisiana. He's also authorized the call-up of 5,000 more guardsmen. Florida and Illinois alone are prepared to send over 1,000 troops into Texas by Friday if needed. The one thing the authorities clearly haven't figured out, and they may want to consider this a little more seriously when they have the time and opportunity again, look at Houston's clogged arteries today. Consider all the gas stations that have simply run out of fuel. And then explain how any one of our major cities would evacuate in the event of an immediate disaster like a biological, chemical, or nuclear terrorist attack. Not relevant tonight, of course, but when we have this much trouble evacuating an urban center with 48 or 72 hours notice of an impending disaster, it does raise some troubling issues. Of more immediate concern, of course, is the hurricane's path tonight. Earlier this evening, it wobbled a bit to the right, still threatening parts of Texas, but possibly creating some danger for New Orleans also. Later tonight, it shifted direction once again. A little earlier this evening, I talked to the director of the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Max Mayfield. Max, that storm doesn't look as though it's diminishing, although I gather you've cut it back a little bit from a Category 5 to a Category 4. Is that right?
It's lost a little bit of strength, Ted, since this afternoon, but it's still a very, very dangerous Category 4 hurricane. And in fact, right now, it's the same intensity that Katrina was at landfall in Louisiana.
We keep talking about, hurricanes feeding off the warm waters of the Gulf and then slowing down as they come over cooler waters or slowing down as they come over land. Just explain to me exactly what's happening there.
Well, a hurricane is a heat engine. It gets its source of energy from the warm ocean, and the greater that source of energy is, the stronger it can become theoretically. And actually tonight, Rita is moving over a warm eddy in the Gulf of Mexico, and that means not only warm water, but very deep warm water. So it's, again, kind of like high-octane fuel that's moving over. The airflow level environment is very favorable, so I would not be surprised to see a little additional strengthening during the night.
And when do you think it's going to make landfall? And of course, most significantly, where do you think it's going to make landfall?
Well, that's the right question. Okay, the most likely scenario is for it to continue towards the upper Texas coast, and I quite frankly don't want anybody to think that we can pinpoint exactly where landfall is going to be. If it comes in a little bit to the south of Galveston Island, then all that storm surge will be pushed up into Galveston Bay. If it makes landfall just a little bit to the east of Galveston Island, they'll certainly have flooding over the Bolivar Peninsula and High Island, but that water, the storm surge, the high storm surge will be pushed up into the Port Arthur, Beaumont area, a little bit more to the east, Cameron, Louisiana, and up into Lake Charles. So, but I will say this, no matter where it makes landfall, and the center will actually be on the coast probably very, very early on Saturday morning. It's a large hurricane, though, and the storm force winds will be brushing the Louisiana coast tonight, getting to the Texas coast, noon or so tomorrow. There's going to be a large impact over a large area, just like we had with Katrina, and we don't want to focus just on Galveston and Houston.
And I don't want to focus just on Texas either, because obviously the the folks who live in Louisiana, and especially those who've just been through that devastating storm with Katrina, are terribly worried about even just the rainfall that you're talking about.
Right, and even though the core of this hurricane will still stay well to the west of New Orleans, they'll certainly have some impacts. We have extended the tropical storm warning all the way over to southeast Louisiana, including the New Orleans area. They will likely get storm force winds in these outer rain bands and passing squalls, and will likely not have sustained winds of tropical storm force very long. But the bad news is even 3 to 5 inches of rain that is expected there, that's not what those folks want to hear.
We have been talking only about the speed that the hurricane itself is generating. What kind of speed, though, is the overall storm moving at now?
Well, it's moving about 10 miles per hour now, and we think that will continue up until landfall, and even during the day Saturday and into Sunday. But sometime around Sunday or so, it will likely slow down. The steering currents will likely collapse, and that brings another problem. If it does stall there, we could have some very, very heavy rainfall amounts, primarily in eastern Texas, and that's going to have an impact on people who have evacuated away from the coastline. We've done a study at the National Hurricane Center, and a lot of people lose their lives after landfall from that inland freshwater flooding, and we keep making some of the same mistakes over and over again. People driving their cars through flooded out roadways, and the National Weather Service has a campaign that says, turn around, don't drown. If you can't see that road out ahead of you, please don't drive there.
All right, Max Mayfield, very helpful as well, always, and I thank you for taking the time to talk to me again.
Thank you, Ted.
It has been a chaotic day in Houston, where 2 million people are trying to get out of the way of this storm. We'll turn to that part of the story in a moment.
This is ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Metamucil.
Wait, did you see that? Go back. Clearly, that woman is trying to get more fiber and calcium in her diet. Now, it's so much easier with new Metamucil capsules plus calcium. Metamucil fiber for regularity, plus as much calcium as an 8-ounce glass of milk for strong bones to help prevent osteoporosis. Metamucil capsules plus calcium. Stay regular, stay strong.
The Verizon Fiber Optic Broadband Network.
Connecting more people
to gaming, video, music, and each other. My job?
My job.
My job. Make the network even stronger.
Faster, more powerful.
With our growing team of experts, we're building the only large-scale, fully fiber optic network in America.
To deliver the next generation, phone, internet, and TV. I'm proud.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
We're proud to be Verizon. Our people, our network.
Tomorrow, as Hurricane Rita barrels toward the Gulf Coast, stay with ABC News and turn to Charles Gibson, there on the scene with GMA's storm team. Plus, inside the hospital facing down Rita and the workers who refuse to leave. Breaking news you'll be talking about all day, only on Good Morning America.
You pay for car insurance year after year, but you may not feel like you get a whole lot back. Allstate is about to change that forever. With features like deductible rewards that give you $100 off your deductible every year you go without an accident. All starting the day you sign up. Safe drivers should be rewarded even more. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
The 6-speed, 270 horsepower Acura TL adjusts to the way each individual accelerates, brakes, and takes on the curves. Because no two drivers are alike. The Acura TL, a higher form of performance.
As Rita approaches Texas, evacuees from Hurricane Katrina are still part of another mass exodus, a slow-moving one. Here's correspondent Laura Marquez.
This is where the frantic journey to get out of town by plane begins. With not a cloud in the sky and no sign of the fierce storm on its way, thousands of passengers stand on the hot pavement, suffering under the relentless sun.
If you can see, it's dripping, and it's getting in my eyes, and it's dripping off my hair. It is so incredibly hot out here. It has to be 100 degrees. And but we don't have a choice in order to do. My flight left at 10:50 this morning, so I'm just hoping to be able to get another flight out.
They take any form of shade they can. A paper hat, a shirt, an umbrella, a fan. Some left their homes 12 hours before their scheduled flight.
I started out at 1:30. I left Sugar Land area at 1:30 a.m. this morning. I got here around 11:15, and I've been in this line for about an hour. My plane is at 1 o'clock, so it's a possibility I may miss my plane.
No one's happy.
An hour and a half to check bags at the curb, and another couple hours to go through security. A lot of people won't make their flights today.
But perhaps it was watching what happened to those stranded by Katrina that this group seems prepared and determined to do whatever it takes to get to safety, even waiting all day.
Are you a patient person?
Today I am. Normally I'm not. Normally I'm not a patient person, but today I just realized everything that was going on, and I just exercised patience today.
At midday, it took about 2 hours to get inside the terminal. But if you had some misdirection out there and got into the wrong line, once you got in here, it's almost impossible to make sense of this mess of lines.
So we are here since the morning. After around 2 or 3 hours, we reached here in the airport around 7 or 8 hours back. Ever since we are running in this queue, that queue, there's nobody at all to tell us where to go.
What do you think about all of this?
I think it's a disgrace myself. I cannot believe that there are superiors who are running outfits like this.
I just want to get out of here.
Now tell me what it's been like to try to get out of here.
Hectic. It's been like, everybody's kind of rude to you. You don't know why. Everyone's in like a hectic state of mind. They're like in a panic.
Not right there. Straight ahead this way. See like one of those guys that come in?
The issue is not the flights. Most of them are on time, just a few canceled. The problem is not enough workers.
We're one of the few that made it to work today.
Line starts at the end, guys.
Many security screeners didn't make it in, dealing with their own families and evacuations. Authorities brought in backups from surrounding airports.
We're from San Antonio. We were just flown in to help to process the passengers out of here, and there's another group from Dallas who also are flown in, so we just arrived, so we're getting ready to start processing passengers out.
What do you think of it in there?
It's a madhouse. It's a lot of people in there, but we'll get them out.
This family isn't just trying to get out, they're going far, to relatives who live in Anchorage, Alaska. And like everyone else, they're just trying to keep track of each other.
It's nuts. He's in front, I'm in back, and we're like pushing them through, making sure that they don't, get lost, because, it took us half an hour just to find what line we're supposed to be in.
But this woman and her baby are not as lucky, now separated from her husband, who's out there somewhere in this chaotic crowd.
We've been here since 2:30 in the morning. Took us 3 hours to get here from home. Our flight's been canceled, so we're trying to see if we're going to get a flight. They send us over here, and my husband's over there trying to get us out of here.
There is a shorter line right here.
But shorter is relative.
We started from way back there, curving through the line this way, where we have to go back outside and come back in. It's been about 2.5 hour wait so far.
Passengers figured today was their best chance of getting out of the airport. Several airlines have canceled flights already. More are expected. And as this hurricane gets closer, there is less of a chance of getting out of that airport anytime soon. Ted?
Of course, most people are not going to be leaving by air. Only yesterday, Laura, the governor of Texas told me that Texas was as prepared as any state in the country for a disaster. And I guess as far as water, ice, food, National Guard, he was absolutely right. As far as getting out of town is concerned, though, a few wrinkles still in the plan.
Absolutely, Ted. That's a very difficult thing to try to move 1.5 million to 2 million people out of this area. And the roads were an absolute nightmare today. There were traffic jams back up all the way into Louisiana, 100 miles. Certainly not even a traffic jam. I mean, people were going nowhere fast. I understand one woman I talked to, she said she'd gone about 45 miles in 12 hours. And because of the very high temperatures, people were sitting in their cars running it for the air conditioning. They were running out of gas, unable to get emergency vehicles, unable to get gas to them. A very difficult time out on the roads.
Are those traffic jams still in place, Laura, or have they begun to ease up?
Things have improved greatly this evening. It seems like everybody was trying to get out earlier this afternoon, and the last time we checked on the highways, which was just about an hour ago, people were at the speed limit of about 50 miles an hour, so things have definitely improved.
And where particularly are they going? You mentioned Louisiana. That doesn't seem like the safest place in the world either.
It certainly doesn't, and I actually heard some people saying that they were going to go to Baton Rouge, which we know has been inundated by all of the evacuees from Katrina. But other people are going just to other places in Texas where they figure they're on higher ground.
Laura Marquez, thanks very much. We'll check in with the mayor of a deserted city, Galveston, Texas, in a moment.
Tired of cleaning the old-fashioned way? Brushing, squirting, and sweating. It takes all day. Hi, I'm Mary Ferguson, and those days are over. Introducing Ultimate Scrubber, the new handheld portable power cleaner that does all your household cleaning in half the time. Look, with ordinary brushes, no matter how hard you try, you can only generate around 80 scrubs per minute. But with Ultimate Scrubber, just press the button, and it does 300 scrubs per minute to power clean away dirt and grime like never before. And you don't have to use those harsh chemicals with strong fumes which make you sick. The secret is our powerful motor that spins non-stop to break up tough stains, supercharging your favorite cleaner to be up to 20 times more effective, guaranteed. Snap on the fabric brush and spot clean stains off laundry, or use our utility brush to clean up after kids in seconds. Look, cleaning into corners and tight areas is frustrating. But now use our exclusive twister brush and power clean hard-to-access areas easily and effectively. Ultimate Scrubber even power cleans dust and grime off AC vents in seconds. Ultimate Scrubber even polishes. Now gently restore shine to your wood furniture in no time. Cut your cleaning time in half with Ultimate Scrubber for $19.95. And here's even a better deal. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll give you a second scrubber free. Keep one in your car to help clean up after fast food accidents. And as a special gift, we'll also give you our automotive kit to easily buff those nicks and scratches off your paint. If Ultimate Scrubber is not the most amazing cleaning tool, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. You get it all. 2 complete Ultimate Scrubbers, the automotive kit, and the guarantee. An $80 value, all for just $19.95. This is a TV-only offer and is not available in stores, so call now.
To order your Ultimate Scrubber, call 1-800-580-8105. You must be 18 years or older to order. Call 1-800-580-8105.
A lot of music history has been made on Jimmy Kimmel Live, but never anything like this.
Listen, pimpin', I ain't new to this. I'm true to this.
50 Cent and Al Michaels on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Good times coming up, only on ABC.
What is Fruit 2.0? It's water, flavored by nature. With natural fruit essence and 0 carbs or calories. Doing what's good for you finally tastes good. Fruit 2.0, fresh picked water.
Few public officials are watching the projected path of Rita more closely than Galveston Mayor Lida Ann Thomas. I spoke with her earlier this evening. It's a deceptively calm and picturesque scene behind you there, Mayor Thomas.
Well, it's what we call the calm before the storm.
It seems to me as though the only folks left in Galveston are the media and the mayor. Now, are you planning to ride it out?
Yes, I will be here in one of our hotels, the San Luis Hotel on the seawall. In fact, we're moving the government operations there this evening.
I can understand on the one hand wanting to set a courageous example, but when you're telling everybody else to get out because it's too dangerous, does it make a lot of sense for you to stay behind?
Well, as mayor, I feel that I have a duty and an obligation to remain on the island and keep the government functioning. As a fifth-generation Galvestonian, our roots are deep in the sand here, and I have never left the island in the face of a storm.
When that devastating hurricane hit 105 years ago, it turned one of the most thriving and wealthiest cities in the country, let alone in Texas, into something of a shell of its former self. There has to be some level of concern in your mind that even if all human life is spared, that something similar could happen to Galveston again.
Well, it certainly could. Galveston could end up looking not only as it did in 1900, but also as New Orleans even looks today after Katrina. So I have great concern for that kind of destruction and some loss of life in the face of Rita.
In terms of making the preparations, and I know that members of your family were responsible for building some of the protection that has in fact saved Galveston over the last 100 years, what were you protecting against? In other words, what was the worst kind of storm that you felt Galveston was braced for?
If you're talking about the seawall,
yes,
which is where I am right now, we have faced a Category 4 and some years ago, and in 1961, Carla was a Category 5. So we feel that we got through those two big storms, and it looks like this one is going to be a bit less than we thought, but we are prepared for some heavy flooding and tidal surge, and the seawall is 17 feet high, and I think it'll take care of us.
It seems to me that the one lesson or the one problem that we still have to resolve as a nation is how to get everybody out of these urban centers with sufficient speed. I don't know if you've seen any of those photographs of the traffic jams in and around Houston, but they're really quite devastating, and if you didn't have 18 or 24 hours to prepare for a disaster, it could be a disaster in itself.
Well, unfortunately, the evacuation plan that was set up by this governor here in the state of Texas didn't work quite as well as we thought it would. In the case of this island, we called for voluntary evacuation 72 hours before the mandatory evacuation. So Galveston Island started out very, very early, and many of our people have been gone for 2 or 3 days now.
Well, Mayor, I wish you all good fortune in riding out the storm, and let's hope it doesn't hit anybody as badly as we all fear.
Well, I hope it just turns around and goes back out in the Gulf, and thank you so much for coming to Galveston. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Hope to do it in person one of these days. Very nice to talk to you.
Well, come on down. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. When we come back, the story of a young man who grew up in New Orleans, always fearing the worst for his city, and then he was dispatched to document Katrina's destruction.
To receive a daily email announcement about each evening's Nightline and a preview of special broadcasts, log on to the Nightline page at abcnews.com.
Free? You're giving it away free.
Hi, I'm Rob Graham, the president of Vital Basics, and I want to give you a bottle of Focus Factor, one of our best-selling supplements, absolutely free. Why would we give away a free bottle of Focus Factor? Because we know that if you try it, you'll buy it. Focus Factor contains nutrients that work with your natural brain chemistry to support focus, concentration, and memory.
Focus Factor is now available at Walgreens and CVS Pharmacy, but if you call now, you can try it free.
Simply call the number on the bottom of your screen, and we'll send you a full-size bottle of Focus Factor, a $75 value, absolutely free. You simply provide $4.95 to help cover the cost of shipping.
They let you try it free? It must be good.
You know, I've been taking Focus Factor since we introduced it over 2.5 years ago, and I wouldn't work a day without it.
Buy it at Walgreens and CVS Pharmacy, or call now and try it free. Call 1-800-338-0034.
This Sunday, the series America Loves is back with a 2-hour premiere event.
It's all about overcoming the odds.
And an emotional story of heroism. The season premiere of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Sunday at 7/6 Central, only on ABC.
When it comes to bad cholesterol, has your doctor told you lower is better? Because of recent medical information, your doctor may recommend an even lower cholesterol goal than before.
Going down.
So you've changed your diet. You exercise. But what if you still need a cholesterol medicine? Well, one that can lower bad cholesterol up to 52% is Crestor. Yes, Crestor, along with diet, can lower that cholesterol up to 52%. Is Crestor right for you? That's between you and your doctor. Crestor is not for everyone, including people with liver disease and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you're taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of serious side effects. Is your cholesterol really where it needs to be? Ask your doctor about Crestor.
Don't be fooled by those 50% or $100 off gimmicks.
Get the best deal at America's Best.
2 pairs of designer glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam. Hundreds of designer frames.
Ellen Tracy, Timberland, Bliss Claiborne, and more.
And kids get 2 pairs for $69.95 with free impact-resistant lenses and a free eye exam.
Wear contacts? Join the Eye Care Club and get free eye exams for 3 years. Plus SoftNet or AccuView contacts for only $12.49. Call 1-800-2PAIR or go online.
Tomorrow, for the first time in its history, National Geographic magazine is publishing a special edition on a breaking news story. For photographer Tyrone Turner, a New Orleans native, this has been a most personal assignment.
The day after the hurricane, we were flying over New Orleans in order to do aerials, and the first